This week, Russia began using long-range bombers and hitting ISIS targets with pinpoint strikes. But our pilots, they've been denied the same opportunities. U.S. military pilots who have returned from the fight in Syria confirmed that the Obama administration policies have actually blocked them, get this, from dropping 75% of their ordnance on those terror targets. That's a Russian video right there. So any chance the administration will somehow unleash American might? Joining me now, Leif Babin, former U.S. Navy SEAL, Dan Bongino, former Secret Service agent, and back with me, Stephen Yates. Let me go with you, Leif. You fought, you were over there, you fought, you understand what's at stake here. Now the world is understanding just what's at stake here, and no one is happy with America's approach.
Well, it's ineffective. It's ineffective. And, you know, I've got friends that are over there, and we've got some outstanding U.S. military personnel that are working their tails off to do as much damage as they can, but their hands are tied. How
do you tell special forces on the ground, how do you tell tribal leaders and others, hey, we've got your back, when our pilots have a target, they radio it in and they say, no, don't hit it, for whatever reason, but 75% of the time, they make them veer back to base?
Well, the frustration there is that if that guidance comes from the top, and if the commander-in-chief says 0 civilian casualties, I mean that's an impossibility. We cannot fight a war and win like that. And so if the answer is to destroy ISIS, we got to take the gloves off. We got to hammer ISIS.
Stephen Yates, your boss, has gotten this sort of he's been almost caricaturized by the left-wing media as some sort of war-happy kind of person out there who couldn't wait to go and maim and kill other people. Yet I think the American public now longing for that kind of leadership that understands that you must kill the bad guy before they kill you.
Especially over there before they bring it to our shores. But I mean, really, this guidance about having 0 civilian casualties in a war zone, what it really does in a perverse way is increase the value of human shields. I mean, basically, they don't have a choice between war or not war. They have a choice between living in neighborhoods dominated by ISIS year after year, or the short-term risk that an explosion will disrupt their neighborhood while they're being liberated. Those are really the only two branches of that decision for them.
You know, Daniel, last weekend, I took a little bit of time out to sort of check how the market reacted to past terror attacks, and I was shocked to discover just how many of these attacks are occurring around the world. Almost every day or every other day, somewhere in the world, these monsters are striking. How do we continue to go and not fight the most effective fight that we can fight?
Well, at home, we're going to have to do something about our surveillance capabilities, Charles, to stop this. This soft target attack, the preference for soft targets, this is a very dangerous development with terrorist groups. You know, pre-9/11, they preferred their spectacular 9/11 type attack to send a message. What they realized after Mumbai and the Mumbai and the Westgate Mall attack is they could do the same amount of damage to a country's economic system and collective psyche with a small arms tactical assault on a population center. We're going to have to increase our intelligence sharing and our surveillance capabilities, physical surveillance capabilities within the United States, in addition to engaging in changing the rules of engagement overseas as well.
Do we change the rules of engagement in America? Because let's face it, it's a big topic right now. What should the rules look like to keep us safer? Dan?
Well, right now, we're putting unnecessary limitations on our surveillance capabilities. I mean, we had in New York, Charles, in New York City, we had an almost outright ban on surveillance within mosques. That's absolutely absurd. If you're using mosques to radicalize people, then sure, that should be a viable target for surveillance.
Leif, before we move on, you and I have talked about the idea that a small amount of special forces with the locals might be able to win this war. Should we go that way, or should we just go with a larger, overwhelming force and just get the job done quickly?
Well, we do need a larger, overwhelming force, but it doesn't need to be a reinvasion with 100,000 troops. I mean, I think what that looks like is maybe that's 5 or 10,000 troops. I mean, we need certainly a clearly defined mission, but to pull ground combat operations off the table entirely, everyone agrees.
It's not going to get done by air alone.
Containment, air power will not win this war.
Thank you all. Thanks all very much.